Today felt like the hottest day of my life. You know it's hot when all you're doing is painting tractors and stuff like that, and you end up sweating so much you can wring out your shirt as if you know how you dip your shirt in some water and wring it out. Well, anyway, I don't know. I just had to get it off my chest. I feel much better now. Had me a lot of cold agua and Powerade, but to when I paint or when I work and stuff, I always have my headset in and I always listen to stuff that's going on, and um, it just amazes me today how many people really think that this whole V thing is really as bad as their television says telling them, and that's really getting so out of control that they have to do this, do that, and a lot of people think it makes sense, and it's just ridiculous how. And I asked them, well, why is there not anything wrong with the people like me who haven't worn the thing and haven't taken the thing? Why is there nothing wrong with us? We just got in their minds. We just got lucky. You want to talk about it? These are same people who want to talk about conspiracy theories. Oh man, how these people make things that don't make any sense at all make sense perfect sense, and call you an idiot for believing otherwise is beyond anything that I can ever fathom, folks. But there's a lot of things going on in the world. Now they're talking about whatever, pulling troops out of where after they just have taken them out and stuff like that. And send them right back in and everything. Out of all the things, I guess because the little border crisis didn't work, which was a bunch of BS as well. Their little boogeyman, the Bud Light virus, isn't going as planned. And there are a lot of things that people could be doing to fight against the Constitution or fight for the Constitution. You have things like what's that? The critical race theory is bullshit. It is complete and utter bullshit. And when they regardless if it's real or not, it's not played by the news. Just like these race stories are not played by the news because it's really important. Well, it is if you're a sheeple and you can't see that they have to sidetrack you with all of these things. But with all of these sidetracks going on in the world today, fake teachers coming up here talking about the critical race theory, keeping your mind on that, keeping your mind on the Bud Light virus, keeping your mind on whatever they can do to fix it, all these little cures and magical potions that they can just whip up for you, keeping your mind on some governor's sex life, keeping your mind on bullshit, propaganda. Mainstream media owned by the same 5 major entities. Yet they claim to be fighting each other, right? Oh yeah, they fighting each other, all right. They're exposing each other. When fake news calls fake news, I just, I laugh. And then when a lot of the sheeple say fake news, they don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know what fake news really is, because if they're talking about any of these news networks and these bullcrap alternative networks, all of that is fake news, because none of them are speaking from the heart. None of them are telling you the esoteric meanings behind a lot of these things that's going on. Not because they might be lying, but because they themselves have not done study or research to even understand what I'm saying right now. And a lot of you guys do, if you're here because you come from my other channels, or you just have a thing called common sense. When things make sense and things don't make sense, you can filter out the bullshit from the real shit, basically. But you have to understand the majority of our people, and when I say that, I mean people, the humankind, all around the world, they can't cipher all of that, because even though we've been brought up in the same matrix, I guess you can call it, as they have, we can see through this thing, because I don't know if it's a personal choice or what, but there are a lot of things going on right now. A lot of rights being taken away, or people are made to believe that some of their rights can be taken away based on other people's feelings and emotions and fears and safeties and all that hogwash. How are we? I got a question. How are we fighting an enemy that the United States created? Can anybody answer me that question? How in the world are we fighting an enemy that we created, or that not we? I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't create them niggas. But excuse me. How are we fighting the enemy that the United States created? I don't understand that. You have people really think, oh, we're fighting we're fighting the Taliban. We gotta come down here. We're fighting Al Qaeda. We gotta duck down. They might fly one of their planes into our buildings because they believe in their religion. They're gonna get 7 virgins if they do that. Oh my God. Oh God. This is what these idiots believe. And they always, again, they're going to do it with the SHOOTINGS. They're going to bring up with the next one, whatever happens, they're going to bring up what happened before. Just like now they're sending people back or whatever, the troops back. What did they bring up? What's the first thing they brought up? 911. Which any person with a brain knows that was an inside job, correct? Or I guess you're not going to say correct if you don't have a brain. But they're still putting it on another country. They're still putting it on another group. Like we didn't have anything, you know what I mean by that? Not we, like you and I, but the U.S. didn't have anything to do with that. You go to the Hour of the Time website, Cooper did a whole article about how the CIA, it was either the CIA or the FB. I'm not saying the full number yet. I guess it don't really matter. Because all you people who think that you're, a certain app is tracking you or a certain whatever, they already know who you are. These people trip me out with that junk. Who are you hiding from? But yeah. All of this is because they're starting to see that people are bored. And once people get bored with the bull crap or bored with whatever their little trendy mainstream story is, they have to have something else to keep people's attention on one thing. And again, I told you about that goldfish mind state. They'll forget all about the past boogeymans that had to be created to keep their minds on whatever the puppet masters wanted, the little puppets, to help keep these people's minds occupied upon or on. Put it whatever way you want to put it. I don't know if I worded it right or not, but what I'm saying is there is really probably going to be, unless we can wake people up, which I doubt we can wake a lot of people up. I really do have a feeling that there is going to be a downfall and like a war. But unlike some people, I'm on the mind state of it's going to work in the benefit of all of us who already know what's going to happen, and we're all on the same page and we're ready for it. A lot of people, they think that nobody's ready for it, nobody's prepared, nobody's stacking, ammunition and stuff, gas and stuff like that. Not when their TV tells them to, but like I'm not really stressing about it because I have a feeling that it might be that what we actually need, because that's the only way that maybe if we can't wake people up through real education and not, their minds are all controlled by the same system, education, that goes all the way from school, like when you're little to when you graduate, and they tell you, you got to go to college and so that's all a part of an established education. I don't know why people think that makes them smart. But somehow, or they think that you can't become a doctor and without school, or you can't these days because they'll arrest you. But and they'll make it seem like it's illegal. You gotta have a license and all this other stuff. This is the false education. They don't want you doing anything on your own. They don't want you becoming your own person. They don't want you having your own mind. They don't want you teaching anything different than what's going to feed the beast system. And then they'll tell you it's for your own good because they know it's best for you. Cooper also used to say this thing about there's no way that imperfect men can rule over other imperfect men. And that they have this elitist mind state that thinks that they can tell us what's best for us, or they know what's best for us, and we don't need them to do that. He was like, the truth is we don't need them to do that, because we don't. But again, people have been so brainwashed into this whole, only a doctor can tell me this, only a dentist can tell me that, only a so-and-so can tell me that. This is why when you actually study these things and listen, people aren't going to believe you, because you don't have a status of who they think is a somebody, because they believe you're a nobody based on all of these brainwashing devices around them. They're upcoming. They don't, and really, they don't have any common sense. And these are, again, the people who get ahead in life, and they have, they think that they know everything based on this system, based on what somebody else told them. So if you're thinking to get any praise from this world or from these people, I'll tell you right now, you're not going to get it. Maybe after you die, but you're damn sure not going to get it while you're alive. I highly doubt that. You're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to get picked on. You're going to have to get people lying on you and making up stuff about you because they're too, point blank, just to be honest, retarded to understand what you're saying. No offense to retarded people. Because I said this a million times, I'll say it again, I truly believe that actual physically, mentally handicapped people are smarter than these people who think they are smarter than you and I, because we do our own research and we don't need somebody to tell us what is true and what is not true. We don't need our television set to tell us how many people died and what a V word can and cannot do and whatever, because we've opted out of that option and we chose the option of reading, researching. This is all foreign to somebody who thinks they have it all figured out based on a television set or a radio, or especially when they're combined. You can't go anywhere. And what's so funny is you see it everywhere. It's on billboards. It's on every time you can't even go into the Circle K or something like that, or you go to Walmart. It's always playing this little Bud Light thing, virus. It's always playing on every single place that you go. They're always talking about it and keeping it in your mind 24/7, putting it on. They got celebrities talking about it. They got YouTube ads talking about it. You can probably go downtown. They got, they have like murals and paintings and stuff like that. They got somebody on there wearing one of those things. They got commercials about the V thing. And then, these people don't see how this is the art of brainwashing. They don't understand what propaganda is. Look in the description box of this video and you'll see what type of propaganda Hitler used in Nazi Germany. Germany. Books, magazines, television, radio, celebrities, coloring books, all of these things. But these sheeple who are up to date think they're too smart to fall for it today. And there are a lot of things going against the Constitution and things like that, but I really made this video to talk about public photography. Well, not really. Actually, I did, and then I just went off on a whole another spiel or whatever you want to call it. Now, with all of these things going on in the world right now, many videos of these frauditeurs done made. Don't you think people know about public photography now? This is what I mean by these dudes are con artists and liars. Or maybe in their own deluded minds they think they're doing something, but they're not really fighting for your right or fighting for the Constitution, because if they were, they'd be they'd be worried about more important matters that are trying to take away our rights. They don't have anything to do with you being able to take somebody's picture, trying to be a bootleg Peter Parker or something like that. You don't have anything to do with nothing like that. We got all these dangerous things going on that is going to lead the sheeple to slaughter if you don't warn them about it. And these clowns are in here trying to take somebody's picture and thinking that that's one of the most important things. That's the the problem right now. And then they'll say freedom of speech, which is one thing, but then somebody tells them, like a employee or something tells them, F off. Get your manager. You can't say that. I want to write you up. I want to make sure you're wrote. No, I want to tell on you like a tattletale. And then the people who will stick up for these clowns. Why don't you frauders go take a picture of some dandelions, some sunflowers, or some daffodils or something? Because that's what you act like, a bunch of pansies. Oh, we got all this stuff going on in the world with the New World Order and everything. Let me take your picture. Let me have the right to take your picture. You got the same old song and dance, and it don't matter because eventually they already done sent letters out about you at the post office to not. The post office employees have sent letters out to their businesses to not engage with you, so you're only going to be able to make money off your little stitch for as long as until everybody's find out about you and watch your little videos, and then you get all the fame you want to get, and you're going to walk in there and nobody's even going to pay attention to you, say hello, or they might say hello like if, and treat you like a customer, which they should be doing. I'll give you that. But they're not going to fall for your little song and dance anymore when you're all figured out. And then I want to know what you're going to be able to do for money, because I know a lot of you guys are felons, criminals, and you like to beat women. So I'm trying to figure out what you're going to do after that. Even your children, some of you, you're passing it on to your children. They're going to be figured out too, because they walk around with you with the camera on. And it's a shame that you're an adult and you're supposed to be a father and you're acting like that in front of your child. Well, I mean, you don't care. Neither do your dumbass followers. Excuse me, I take a drink. Ooh, that's some good stuff right now. All right. I think that's about all I had to say. I don't like keep going and keep talking. I just like coming here and saying the thoughts, because I always just think about the world and I think about what's going on right now. I just like to have these thoughts put somewhere, so when these things happen or when people start finally waking up to it, then they can look back and say, somebody tried to tell us. Somebody tried to do the right thing regardless if it was popular or not. I don't really care what other people think. I just want to get it off my mind so I can have it said, and then I don't feel like I'm just talking into the wind to nobody. Even if it ends up being that, at least it's there for all time. Maybe not be there for all time, because I don't know if YouTube's going to be here for all time, but taking little pansies talking about taking somebody's picture. If they were truly about freedom, Constitution, and stuff like that, then why are they all going there and say, "Oh, I'm medically exempt"? I don't have to. And they're supposed to know so much about law. Why don't they know that there is no face mask law and that you don't need to be medically exempt to do that? They're all medically exempt. They're lying. They're not all medically exempt. How all of a sudden all of these auditors from, you'd be like, what? Some of them wear it, but when they go out, you got like 3 or 4 of these clowns that don't even, they're like from 4 different states. They're not, and they just met each other through auditing. Somehow they're all medically exempt. They don't even need a medical exemption. They're cowards. They're not willing to fight it and take it to court because they don't know the law, but they want to talk to somebody about the Constitution and that they're trying to teach about laws. You see what I'm saying about the hypocriticalness of people? I don't know if hypocriticalness is a word, but the hypocrisy of people, it just frustrates me to see the world the way it is right now. It really does. It frustrates me to know that people do not even have their own minds. You can't talk to somebody or a person about anything, because as soon as you say something that's not popular or is trending, or that, somebody has cloned them into believing what's true, they'll just look off, their eyes just start to wonder, and they give you that feeling, they don't want to talk to you no more. And they get all emotional and all weird about something that they don't even have an original thought on. Something they cannot even comment on, like as in themselves. They can only give you a comment of what the television said, what one of their friends said, what somebody said on what the most people are saying on Twitter. Like not one single original thought in their dome. Period. That's sad. And then as soon as you'll leave, they'll have a whole bunch to say, or what they heard somebody else say, but they don't see that it's sad that they can't even form their own thoughts. Oh. I guess I just keep doing what I'm doing, but it's so many times where I'm like, I'm so done with this place. I just want to go. Not on no like suicidal junk. Cause I still have hope that something might change it around. I don't know how hard I gotta push and how much it has to. What else I gotta do? Cause I've been trying for the last 8 years. I don't know what else I gotta do. I'm gonna keep trying, but it's just a lot of times I'm just like, man, I'm so ready to just be done with this entire world and see what's next, because any place is better than here. Any place is better than here at this moment in time. It's going to be like this, and we're going to continue to go down this road where people can't form their own thoughts or think for themselves. I just don't know. For anybody who's not concerned about where the world is going right now, like as far as the future of the whole world, like our whole human species, there's got to be something wrong with that person. If you can't be concerned, or if you're not concerned when you look around you and you listen to all these people, if you're not concerned about what the future holds for this world, not like when you pass away or whatever you go, what's after this, not that future, but the future for if you don't make a mark, or you don't do something, or build something, or make something where you can teach or have some kind of audience, or some kind of, I don't want to say like following or anything like that, some kind of like system, a new system. For anybody who can't think that we need that in order to move forward, if you can't see the scariness of this one, see, I can't even hardly think of what I'm really trying to say. But if you can't see if you're not scared for the future of this world, for like humans and stuff, when people don't have not even one single original thought, like if you're not, and then these are the people who are raising the youth. Again, I'm always going to bring that up. If you're not scared for that kind of future, if they're going to be raised this way, and people who are raising them are so insane that they think what they're doing is right, but they don't even have an original thought on what they're doing. Like if it's right or not, somebody tells them. If you can't see how that is scary for the world, like the future of it all, if it's going to seriously continue to be like this, with no original voices, no people standing up, none of this stuff, you can't see the downfall or the future enslavement of everybody and everything, unless there are more people than there are now who have original thoughts, or at least get the chance to have original thoughts. If you can't see that, you're insane. This world is doomed if mainstream media, Hollywood actors, so-called HEALTH experts, and all this stuff, who are a bunch of liars, and a bunch of deceivers, and a bunch of real drug dealers, just like people talking about drugs and stuff coming in and out of this country, blaming everything on. That's another thing. You got all these people trying to blame something on China, blame something on Russia, blame something on whatever. But then you got the United Nations. They're all together in on this. So Save all your this country did this country did that. They're all in on it. It's a round table. When they tell you something about China did this, Russia did that, Afghanistan did that, Taliban did that, that's just to keep your sheeple mind occupied and to keep you from coming after the real culprits. You don't even care enough to wake up to figure out who those culprits really are because you don't want to look at home. You forget about the thing that says defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Again, hypocrisy. I just can't believe the goldfish mind states, the hypocrisy, the blatant lies, the people following, just, looking up to, oh my God, people that they think actually care about them when these people don't give a shit about them, y'all. I know a lot of you guys know that, but they do not get it. And they're all still marching, thinking that they're marching to some cause that has some type of meaning. And it really means what they're told that it means, because they don't want to research past they don't want to research past that than what they're told. Black Lives Matter example, the ABCDEFG community. And then you can think about all the censorship, the Big Brother censorship, when people say certain things and then they wonder why they don't know certain things. They don't wonder why there's Big Brother type censorship on certain, like massive censorship, the way it is on people who actually make sense. But then the liars can go mainstream. They don't wonder about things like that. They think you're crazy or a conspiracy theorist because you have common sense. And they can't tell when somebody is obviously trying to hide something from them or mislead them. Obviously mislead them. Blatantly mislead them. Don't even try to hide it really anymore. Just right in front of their faces, telling them that they are so stupid that they're going to just keep lying to them over and over again, and these people don't even see it. They'll call you stupid. This is the world that we live in today, you guys. It's a sad world. I mean, yeah, artists can put stuff in songs and make them, simple things. You ever heard that song? What was it? John. A lot of these people are in on it, but John, not Lennon, Mayer. What was that one song? There's the real world. It's like there's no such thing as the real world. I mean, if you listen to those lyrics, it's like somebody from the inside telling them, and they still don't get simple things like that. They'll call you a conspiracy theorist for calling something like that out. He said the good boys and girls take the so-called right track, faded white hats. Oh crap, I can't even think of it right now. But he's talking about how this world is not what they tell you. Basically, this is somebody who made it. And all throughout that song, he's telling you how they tell you this world is a certain way that it is, and it's not at all completely. And he ain't the only artist that does that. So many artists do that. So many subliminals and kids' TV shows, cartoons, Disney, one of the biggest culprits. I mean, we live in an age of zombies, y'all. We really do. You don't need no damn zombie apocalypse. They're already here. Brainwashed by their television sets and radios. And honestly believing that there's always this thing that happened that propels us into having to do this. And it always happens in the right amount of time. If there's one boogeyman, then right when that goes away, one more pops up right before we get any chance to even like right after we just got done dealing with the last one, another one pops right up. And they don't see what that is. They don't see the obviousness and what that means. That there's never a break because they don't want a break. They're about mind control. So whatever happens next, as soon as it dies down, guess what? Something else is going to take its place, and they're not even going to blink an eye. They're gonna go from reciting what they were just told happened and was all big, with the big news and so and so. And then as soon as that dies down, or they can't use it no more and it's played out, and they see that they're losing momentum with the public fear and the public hype and all this stuff, something else is going to happen, just like that. And then these idiots are going to go from that to forgetting about all of that. It ain't even going to exist anymore. And then they're going to go to the next thing. Oh, of course, until they need to use that thing again. Like 911 that they're using right now, and still trying to blame it on who ain't have nothing to do with it, period. Not at all. But they need to use that. Just like when the next SHOOTING comes up, guess what? They're going to bring up the COLUMBINE one. Right? They're not going to get it, y'all. But all we can do is keep trying and band together, because there's this one saying. I'm gonna go. I know I'm talking too long right now. There's this thing about it only takes a couple people to change the world, no matter what all these people are doing. They're spending their time, let me go get married, let me have a house, let me get, I got to be with the right person, I got to have the right job, I got to have all this money, and so on and so on. So that's what most people's mind state are. But even if there's only a couple of us who don't care about that stuff, and we're still, our mind is focused, and we really want to change the world, that we can do it. All throughout history, that is how it's always been. You probably heard other people say this before. That even though it was a whole sheep or a whole group of people leading one way, there was always either a person or a group of people who did something that changed the world. And that's what we have to keep in mind, regardless of what the sheep will do. Because the sheep are always going to be the sheep. And they're always going to outcast you, because you don't want to play in a little high school club, and you don't want to pick you don't want to pick sides in their little world stage dodgeball game. You don't want to be in high school and be in a popular club with these Muppets. I'm going to try to start doing one of these talks a day if I can, man. I love y'all. I just want you to know that there's somebody out here still trying to do stuff. I'm always going to tell you, donate to the ministry if you want to get down with me. If you ever want, especially if you really want to connect with me, hit me up on the email, and we can talk about if you're interested in helping me build this thing. But other than that, because that's the only way. I think something's going to change. Somebody got to do it. We leave it in the hand of these wannabe politicians. I mean, these wannabe world changers, and, the sheeple. We might as well kiss the world goodbye. All right. I'll see y'all next talk.